Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we explore the hidden science and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Gearhead Granny 42. Thanks for the suggestion. Granny, you asked, how do springs power everyday objects? If you've ever clicked a pen, opened a toaster, or been jump-scared by a spring that flies out during a DIY repair, you've probably wondered, what dark magic is inside this metal noodle? Well, today, we're diving into the bendy, twisty world of springs. How they store energy, release it, and make everyday gadgets work like tiny mechanical muscles. Let's bounce in. Right here on Explaining Everything. Springs look simple, just metal spiraled like a slinky on a diet. But they're engineered with surprising precision. Most springs are made from steel or special alloys that can handle constant bending without turning into sad metal spaghetti. The secret lies in the shape. When a spring is coiled, pushing or pulling, it stores energy inside the metal. This stored energy is called elastic potential energy, which sounds fancy but basically means it wants to snap back like it has an attitude problem. Depending on the job, springs come in a few common styles. Compression springs, the pushy ones, like inside pens and keyboards. Extension springs, the pull me and I'll pull back ones, like in trampolines. Torsion springs, the twisty siblings, like in clothespins and mousetraps. Each one handles energy differently, but the basic rule is the same. You apply force, then the spring stores energy, and then it releases that energy to do work. Your gadgets are basically powered by metal coils with commitment issues. Let's look at everyday objects and what the spring is really doing inside. The click pen. Ah yes, the universal fidget toy of bored adults. Inside a click pen, the compression spring is constantly squeezing and releasing. Every click pushes internal parts up or down, locking the pen tip in or out. It's basically a tiny mechanical dance battle happening inside your pen. The toaster. When bread pops up, that's not toaster magic. That's a torsion spring waiting patiently, then leaping into action the moment the timer releases. It's the closest thing to a jump scare your kitchen can legally provide. The mechanical watch. Inside, a tightly wound spring called the mainspring slowly unwinds, releasing controlled energy that moves the gears. It's like a tiny athlete doing a slow-motion workout, just to tell you it's 3:17 p.m. Springs don't need electricity. They don't need batteries. They're basically pure mechanical muscle, powered by pressure, tension, or your questionable life choices. Springs are everywhere because they handle energy in a way that's predictable. Engineers love springs because they obey Hooke's law, which states the more you stretch or compress a spring, the more force it pushes back with. Meaning, a spring will complain exactly the right amount every time. This predictability allows springs to be used in car suspensions, door hinges, keyboards, cameras, toys, vending machines, and every broken pen in every office ever. Durable. Springs can cycle thousands, even millions of times without breaking. If phones had the durability of springs, your cracked screen problem would be solved forever. Efficient. Springs lose very little energy as heat, so almost everything you put in comes back out when the spring releases. They don't waste energy like humans do when climbing one flight of stairs. And let's not forget, springs are incredibly lightweight, compared to the amount of force they can handle. A tiny coil, no bigger than a peanut, can hold, release, and manage more energy than your motivation on a Monday morning. That's why engineers love them. They're strong, flexible, and low maintenance. If springs were people, they'd be those annoyingly dependable friends who show up on time, never complain, and somehow carry all the grocery bags in one trip. When you push, twist, or pull a spring, you're storing mechanical energy inside it. Think of it like stuffing emotions down until you suddenly snap, except springs are supposed to do that. Here's what's really happening. You apply force. The spring absorbs it and stores it. You let go. The spring releases the energy and moves something. That simple cycle powers an insane amount of everyday things. Even items you don't associate with springs, like retractable tape measures, bike kickstands, and even some doorbells, work because a spring is doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Take the classic mousetrap. That thing is all spring. You load a torsion spring with tension, and when triggered, it releases its coiled fury. It's basically a steel athlete waiting for the whistle. Springs are tiny, silent workers storing energy so our world doesn't fall apart every time we click, push, twist, or slam something. So, how do springs power everyday objects? By acting as reliable, renewable, frustration-free energy storage systems. Push them, pull them, twist them. They store that energy and send it right back out to keep your stuff moving. They make pens click, doors close softly, toasters attack your breakfast, and machines function without electronics. Springs are the unsung heroes holding the mechanical world together. One coil at a time. And the next time a spring shoots across the room during a repair, don't get mad. That's just it expressing its independence. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.